Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be focusing on car stuff. Today we have my 69 Mustang, and I just did a head gasket job on it. Took the last couple of weeks just because family, kids, life, you know how it goes. More or less, this engine is a 5-liter that came out of an old Smith air compressor. Yes, I know half of it is, been used as a regular engine all of its life. The other half um, has just pushed air. Believe it or not, it was in really great shape. The engine has, really low hours on it. It's done very well over the last couple of years. The reason it blew the head gasket was because of, more or less the company that ran the engine only put, I'm guessing, probably tap water in coolant in the engine. So it caused the coolant galleries to be really rusty, rust coated. I didn't think too much of it at the time. I cleaned it out really well for what I could see, but it turns out over the last couple of years that it has actually come back and traveled. And even though I've been using coolant and distilled water, really made a mess of things. And when I took the heads back off, which I have AFR cylinder heads on, there was quite a bit of rust in the coolant galleries of the engine itself. I realistically don't have enough time to take this out and take it to an engine shop and have it cleaned and go through that whole expense and redo the engine. It's just not in the cards for me right now. What I have decided to do is the old, as they call it, mechanic in a can. And that's what you just heard fall. We're going to try Thermocure. I have never been a big fan of the mechanic in a can type stuff, but I have read some great reviews, seen some cool videos, and thought I would give you a real life, realistic review. And, let's just see if this stuff actually works. Because honestly, if it does for 25 bucks, it's well worth it. It's much cheaper than a machine shop and going through the hassle of disassembling an engine and redoing everything. If I have to go that route, I probably would go and redo the entire engine, punch it 30 over, put a better cam, all that kind of stuff. So we know how that snowballs. So here we go. I'm going to use Thermocure. I have roughly 3.5 gallons of distilled water in here currently. I live in Ohio and it's March right now, and for whatever reason we are still dealing with winter temperatures, so I'm going to have to keep it in the garage. So you can see, yep, maybe focus. All right, you can see the dirtiness there. That's fresh distilled water. I literally just ran this engine for the first time yesterday. In the last couple of weeks I flushed the radiator out as good as possible. Let's see if I can maybe get a light here. Yeah, that'll help. Ah, there we go. Okay, so you see that, right? It's nasty. The entire coolant galleries in the engine look like that. This is an aluminum radiator. This was really pretty aluminum before I ran this engine. So I'm going to put this stuff in. I've already drained out water that will allow me to put the Thermocure in. And I'm going to let this run for a couple days as they suggest and see what it actually does. So come back, first flush, and we'll see what happens. Just so we don't have anybody saying I didn't, here it is. Oh, stuff smells. Seriously smells. It's not going to blow me out of the garage, but I ain't going to lie to you. It stinks a little. Make sure I'm not overflowing into my overflow. I really don't want to pour 25 bucks on the ground. Says it treats up to 3 gallons. There's 3.5 in there. It's close enough, right? All right. See you in a couple days. All right, day 2 here. So something neat, cool. This stuff is just black as night. Like, this is not a glare. You open up the radiator cap, you can't see any fins, any tubes, nothing. It is just dark. So this stuff really must be working. I put it in. I let the car warm up outside for a couple minutes and took it for a half-hour drive. And when I returned, just let it run for a minute or two, keep the thermostat open, just let things keep moving. And man, it just really must be doing some work in there. It says on their website to let it sit for either drive it for a few hours straight or let it sit and run in there a couple times for about 2 or 3 days. I'm going to do the 2 to 3 days. This is day 2. I'm going to take it outside, do the similar things I did yesterday, take it for a similar little, 15, 20 minute test drive, and then bring it back and park it. I will say I don't know what this is, and it's like making one of those weird moments in your brain where you've smelled the smell before, but when you pop this radiator cap open, there is a pungent smell that I know I've smelled before, but I cannot for the life of me figure out what it is. I almost think it's like CLR that you would use like in your bathroom or something like that. I'm going to pop some open later just to see if I can find it. But so this is day 2. I'll do the same thing tomorrow. I'll do day 3. This is going to be just some nasty stuff when it comes out, I think. All right, so here we go. All right, back for day 3. Today's the day I'm going to go ahead and change this. I'm not really sure how corrosive this stuff is, and they say you can leave it in up to a week, but I'm not really sure I trust it. So, never used this before, we'll see. I tell you what, that stuff is even blacker today. And I've been thinking and had my wife take a whiff of that, and the only thing I can tell you that smells like is just some nasty stuff. I can't figure out the smell, but it has a smell that I have, there's something else that smells like this is what I'm trying to tell you, and I don't know what it is yet, but we're going to take it into the shop. We're going to put it up in the air. I'm going to drain this coolant out. We're going to see how nasty it is. All right, stay here with me. All right, out in the shop with Walter. There's deciding that apparently you need to take a sledgehammer to a power wheel. I'm gonna get you guys in here. Hopefully we'll see a good shot of what this coolant looks like. I'm going to start by opening the drain cock and getting out what I can from there, and then pulling the lower radiator out. See how nasty this stuff is. I just know it's gonna be nasty. Woo! Now, mind you, this is distilled water. I don't know if this is showing up, but it looks like coffee. Stay back, Wally. Yeah, it's got a leak. Whew. It's definitely got a leak, yep.
How do I get a leak?
Well, it's not really a leak. I'm draining out coolant. There's that smell. Yeah. It's coolant from the water tank.
It's coming from the water tank. Is that blue thing the water tank? Is that the blue thing that water tank?
Yep. Alright. Put on pause here. Let this drain through the lower radiator hose. God, this stuff is disgusting. Alright, I'm going to pull you in here if you can see it. I don't know if it'll show up on camera or whatnot. I mean, you can see that.
That's
It is like, I don't know, coffee mixed with the same stuff that made the Ninja Turtles. Those. I mean, it reeks. The whole shop smells. But I'm guessing it did something. It smells like that. I'm cheating a little bit. I use my hose pliers to stop the engine side. Let's see what I can get out of this radiator. Oh, this is gonna be nasty. Oh, that stuff's all in my mouth.
Get some water.
I'll get some water later.
That's yucky.
I know. Obviously, you can tell my youngest is out with me still. All right. Got the hose off. Oh, man. I don't know if you can see that when I'm doing this, but man, this is some rank stuff. All right, here comes the fun part. Yep, here comes the fun part. You ready? Set. Well, not as much as I anticipated. That's good. It's a good thing.
What is it?
All right, so I have everything out of the engine in the radiator, and with the exception, one more trick I have up my sleeve. Show you here in just a second. All right, I got one more trick up my sleeve an old guy taught me about a decade ago. You hook a radiator pressure tester up with open hoses, pump some pressure into it. Obviously, it won't hold pressure, but a lot of times the air going through will force more coolant out, if there's any that can be. Do not hear any. No, it's just a couple drops, so we're about good. All right, let's check our work, shall we? All right, so I'm ecstatic, not gonna lie. I poured this stuff out into another container. For one, it smells hideously, so be prepared for that. Don't do it in your house, in the garage that connect to your house. I'm telling you right now, your wife's gonna be pissed. But look at this. The only discoloration there, I know it's not showing up well on the camera. Look how clean those tubes are again. Oh, this is so exciting. On the tops there, all that discoloration is, that's just the remnants of that water. That's the best radiator flush I've ever used. So I worked at dealerships and other places in the past. We use like BG products. Those were even supposed to be like the best of the best. This stuff blows that away. So I am sure it did good things. So I can only recommend this stuff. This obviously it's pricey. It's $25. It's not going to be as good as take it out and have it rebuilt and, you know, tanked and everything to get everything clean. But definitely recommend doing this. I'm going to put in another round of distilled water to try to get everything out of here. And then I'm going to go ahead and run coolant in it again. Maybe flush it in 3 months just to make sure I got everything out. So hope this video helped. Again, it's Thermocure. It was $24.99 on Summit Racing. Supposedly O'Reilly's and Advanced sell it, but I couldn't find any locally that had it. So hope this helped. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.